Hello friends and welcome back. Let's talk about Aruba licensing today. Now, if you're new to this channel, obviously you want to learn Aruba Mobility, I strongly suggest you pause this video, go back to the part 1. There I explain about Mobility Master, starting from downloading the file and installing on ESXi. You may have a hardware mobility masters, but I explained the process for all of them, and then later on creating a high available pair with VRRP. Licensing is harder. You need to know certain things about licensing for your new 8.0 Aruba mobility structure. So stay tuned. By the end of this video, you will know what license do you need, how many do you need, and why would you need certain licenses. Your Aruba sales rep could be a great help on this as well. In order to add license for your whole infrastructure, make sure you first start by adding the license. It's very important for you to know for a fresh installation. Now, if particular model that you have is currently as a standalone member and you want to convert that to Mobility Master scenario, then your existing licensing will not work. So more on that later. So in order to add license, you would need the serial number and or the passphrase. This is how you get there. Configuration, licenses. Right now I'm on MM1. License, and then click on manual and add to the plus. You get to that. This is the mobility master serial number, and this is the passphrase. From the CLI, you can also get that. Oh, hello. I just paused the video with a friendly reminder to all smash that subscribe button. And if you're enjoying my content, please don't forget to leave your comment. I'd like to know your thoughts and reviews. And like the video if you truly like it. I'm not going to hold you back. Thank you very much. Enjoy it now. Show license passphrase. So you would need to get that information to get your license. Show in inventory to get the serial number. So once you have that passphrase and the serial number and you know the list of licenses you need, provide that information to your Aruba sales rep or your partner. Then what they will do, they will assign that license on the Aruba license portal and you will get an email. It looks just like this. My says demo on the order number. For production, probably say prod. And you can then take this order number to the lms.arubanetworks.com, or you can go to asp.arubanetworks.com, and from there um, you can convert this order to your license key. I will show you how to do that. So I have received this email. I'm ready to convert this order into my activation keys. So I'm in my license management portal. Go to license, click on activate. You would then use your the order number, and Order number and confirmation numbers are both same, so load it. It will load all the models, all the items, licenses. Before you do any of the features, you have to do your MM. So convert that MM first. That's what I'm doing. Select the quantity. And below here, you have to provide that serial number or your passphrase. I have my passphrase right here. Let's copy that and let's name it YouTube Lab. All right. Of course, you have to acknowledge it. Once you activate that, it gives you the activation key. Don't worry, it will be in your list. Add activate other. So here you can select the rest, including your VMC and your PEF and other feature licenses. Provide your activation quantity. The reason I have 10 AP is because I wanted to show you the license model. I'll go ahead and put the same one and the same name. All right, let's activate them. You will also get an email with all this activation key. So please bear with me while I go through a couple of PowerPoint slides with key information. This is a typical mobility controller or mobility Aruba Mobility solution deployment. You have a couple of a pair of to create the high available structure, and you have either physical or hardware mobility controller, or virtual mobility controllers here servicing your APs and all other um, indoor APs or wraps. So what happened? How do you know what kind of licenses do you need? So licensing would be required to go on to your mobility master to support your all the controllers as well as your APs. Very key important information, right? So, but in case of hardware mobility master, the license come pre-installed on them. MC and VMC. So there is a MC-VA license you would need specifically if a particular virtual mobility controllers were to terminate APs. Make sure you remember that if you in your environment you have a virtual mobility controller, you would need the MC-VA license. Now for AP, these are subject to all based on your AP. However many APs you have, you would need license for that. Featured licenses such as policy enforcement firewall. This is also based on your AP count. It would need that PEF license for your environment. RF Protect, this is your spectrum analyzer feature. If you want to have that, you would need RFP license. Now, these are not mandatory, but they're highly recommended for your environment. Next, the license model. So lic-mc-va. So this is an example. You have a 30 MC or VMC and approximately 300 AP. How many license do you need? Well, you would need license, 330 of them. Because it's based on per device. Any number of devices you have in your mobility deployment, like may that be your AP, your MCs, your virtual MCs, you would need one license per device. They usually come in like 500,000 in that SKU. Again, else license MCVA. The XS is the country code. So for US, it'll be US here. So imagine you have 300 APs that will be terminating on your virtual mobility controllers, right? So you would need 300 of the MCVA license for it to support that. Of course, you would need 300 AP license, 300 PEF, and 300 RF license. Now, these licenses are perpetual. I mean, you just buy it, they don't expire one time, right? But WebCC is a subscription-based licensing model, and you can buy like 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, and 10-year licenses for WebCC. Um, But the feature licenses have a very key factor you have to remember. So please make sure your license, the feature license count match with your AP counts. If you have 100 AP, you need to buy 100 RF license. Later on, you wanted to add 20 more APs. Make sure you buy additional licenses to support them. So what happens? You bought 100 APs, but you only bought 50 PEF RF Protect license. What happened that 50 APs will drop off from your environment. That is very bad. So that key factor you have to remember. Featured licenses need to match with your AP license count. Okay, so you bought the license. Now, how are you going to deliver those license? There's a global license pool, which is also managed by your MM. Remember, one of the key role your mobility master has is to handle the licensing. So imagine you do have that licensing enabled and the global license pool, right? This is the main license pool you have, and you have, for example, 100 license you bought for your environment, and you have a hierarchical structure. You have three managed network folder where remember the Nashville folder I created under managed networks? That's what I'm talking about here. You have USA, India, and China. And if you do not do anything and you just create this managed network pool, managed network infrastructure, what happened that your 100 license will then be shared among all your managed networks. And these devices right here will just pull their own license from the MM and go on about their business. Now you can go further and you can create what do you call a custom license pool. They call it dedicated or custom. The moment you create a dedicated license pool is what happened that for example, you created a license pool for USA sites and you have assigned 40 license value. What happened that these devices will use licenses from this pool only. As long as they have available license, they will operate. And if they ran out of license, imagine you have 41 APs. Now you totally ran out of license. Well, those APs will not broadcast SSID. It is no longer going to go back up to your global license pool. But as you see, the rest of the managed network folder structure does not have a pool. So that what they will do, they will just go over and start using the remaining 60 license keys and will operate. Even though if they're using 30 of them, that 30 will be sitting there and will not be helpful for USA site. So remember, you can create this way. There's another way, it's fully customized, like you just go ahead and create additional pool for your India side, for your China side, and they will start pulling licenses from their own license pool. Always remember the license needs to be assigned to this license pool, and once they're utilized, they are no longer going to go to your global license pool. So most of the time you have to plan, and if you need to add, you need to add the license to their dedicated pool. For example, USA need a couple more license, you go buy that and you add that to this pool. Um, Remember, add your MM license first. If it's a fresh installation, start with adding the MM license first before you can add your MC-VA or your AP or feature licenses. Very, very important to remember that. Now you realize your AP, all the licenses will go in here, and then your respective devices will pull their licenses. Another key point, if you are going with a dedicated or custom license pool, make sure you add all needed license for that managed network within that license pool. For example, you have 100 AP for USA site, you only added 100 APs there, but you did buy 100 feature license, PEF, or Protect, WebCC, um, but you forgot to add them in here. Well, those features will not be available for APs that are under this managed network. So all needed license needs to be added to the dedicated pool. Remember, they cannot go back up to the global pool to pull the needed license anymore as soon as you enable the dedicated license pool. All right, this is a good time to show you how to add the licensing. I know you guys have been probably waiting for this. I'm going to go ahead and add another manage folder um, called Texas. The reason being I wanted to show you the license, dedicated license pool versus global. All right, so licensing are available. Note that it's not available on a device level, but it is Mobility Master folder level. So go to licensing. As you can see, you have global license pool, which can then share the licenses to these pools. For example, Nashville, right? I go over there. As soon as I enable here, it is going to call a Nashville license pool. It would be devices under it. We'll use that one only, right? So, but in order to add the license, you go to license inventory and you go with the plus sign. Make sure you add your license first. I'm going to copy paste my license. All right. There you go. I have license mobility active, 10,000 of them. It's a demo license. Yeah, sure, why not? Next, I will add my MC-va, my feature license all at once. Again, go on to your plus, and you can simply do one at a time or paste them all. All right, so it is asking whether you would like to enable this feature. Let me just show you if you forgot to press this. You're in a hurry, you went on and you want to enable them, where to go enable later on. So, okay, right there. So here you can click on global license pool and you can enable um, your licenses. All right, I'll go ahead and make the changes. This license will then be shared within your MM1 and MM01. Share in the sense they both will have this copy. All right, so this explains the installation of your licenses in your Aruba Mobility Master, which will then be used by all your adjoint devices to your infrastructure or mobility infrastructure. I think this is a fair place to put a pause to this, and I know I have put down a lot of information in this. All of them, chapter 3 is actually your licensing on Aruba Mobility professional book, and it also explains how to add virtual mobility controller or mobility controller to your mobility mastering infrastructure. So I guess I'll put a pause to this one. Next video would be towards how to add mobility controllers, starting from downloading the image to installation to adding the MC or VMC to your highly available pair. So I'll put a pause to that and come back to part 3 to learn about that.